Welcome to Dynamic Baseball video number 2 in the Game Changer training series. In this particular video will be very informal. We are just going to show you, in this particular case, some items that are strictly related to dynamic baseball. All the other videos that follow will be directly from Game Changer. So all the training will be very specific and very, very strong and exactly the correct way to do it. Now, this particular video, what we're going to do is show you how to log on, and we're also going to show you how to pick your tournament and also how to deal with the rosters and so forth with the dynamic baseball, all the dynamic baseball tournaments. So bottom line is what you're seeing here is this is my personal iPad, so there's a lot more apps on that than will be on yours. And so there's the Game Changer logo. So we will, and iPads are done directly by touchscreen, so you will touch it, and this is what will pop up. Now, in almost every case, your iPad is going to recognize a pre-programmed password that will go directly to what you're seeing right here. In the cases to where the password does not work, in the cases where it does not go directly to this particular screen, then you're going to need to log in. And just as the introductory video said, is that you're going to need to log in using your iPad number, which is located on the outside of your case. And just make sure that you use, if it's iPad 1, you use iPad 01. If it's iPad 08, it's iPad 08. So you will have iPad 01 at dynamicbaseball.org will be your username. Password is always dynamic, and it should take you directly to this particular screen if it doesn't already. Now, what will pop up? What will pop up on this left-hand side of your screen will be all the dynamic baseball tournaments that are going on right now. So in this particular case, since we are doing this as a practice, then obviously we're going to need to just choose one that's already been done. So let's say that we're going to using it for the Dynamic Baseball 2015 BIC Best in Class Youth at VSC on May 9th. Then we would click on that. I guess obviously with our finger, it will click on that. That's going to be falling a little bit behind. And then you will see to the right, it will show all of the games that are going on. Now pay close attention because there's Sunday and then there's Saturday. And if there's a Friday list, then there will be Friday. So let's go back to Saturday. I'm just going to touch screen Saturday. Once again, it's lagging a little bit behind. And then you're going to see all the games that are going on. Now, you can see over here that these games are now final, but let's say that they weren't and they were open. So you would click on that particular game, the game that you're getting ready to score. If it was the 8 a.m. game, it's going to ask you, do you want to download that game? You click download, and then up will pop your main scoring screen that we're about to show you. Now, one of the most valuable parts of Game Changer training is the practice mode. Now, if you notice, the menu is always where these little squiggly lines are. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to pop up a little menu. And if you notice down there all the way to the bottom is practice scorekeeping. Well, and then click on baseball. Now, I recommend you use this when you get your iPad that night. Go back and score. Go to ESPN and score a game on TV. Get you very much used to it, but after you go through the videos and any training that you've gone in the pre-tournament training. Now this particular menu, pay very close attention to this if you would. So if you notice in the practice menu, now needless to say, this is going to look somewhat like you're going to see once you get into the regular scoring. But now for example, let's say that it's in between games and you're going to the coaches, and the very first thing that you need to get is a roster. Now, obviously, there's a big difference between a roster and a lineup. The roster is all the players that are available on that day. And the lineup is obviously created from that roster. So when you go see the coach, you say, Coach, if you would, I need a starting lineup, but I also need a roster of the kids that are here today. So most of them have a pre-printed roster, and he can just mark out the kids that are not there. So let's just say, for example, now, as mentioned in the introductory video, the coaches are supposed to upload all of their lineups, and they should be keyed in and ready to go. So in a perfect world, which doesn't exist, you would you click on the roster, which is once again it's lagging a little bit behind. You would click on the roster, and then in the roster, be prepared for there to be completely blanks. Be prepared for that. And then so you may have to literally create new player and key in every player that's on the roster. So let's say that you've done, and how that would be done. Let's say it's blank on there, and we want to create a new player. You're going down the roster list, and this player's name is John Jones. So you're going to create John Jones, and then John Jones number is 61. And don't worry about the bats and the throws left or such like that. Now, what you're going to, after you create John Jones, you're going to click Save and Close. Now, let's say that you've done that for all of those players that are on there right now. You've keyed in every single one of them, okay? Then it would be time to create the lineup. You go over to the lineup. Now, in this particular case, it's all done, but this is what it looks like. You would go back to the roster, and you would actually click on A. Jackson, and you would activate him. But let's see how to do that. So now you've created this entire line. You created the lineup, and you have them all in the right position, just as you see there. But then this particular coach, as most of them do, most of these coaches will end up batting 10, 11, sometimes 12, even more people in order to get all the kids in the lineup. So the position extra hitter is used a lot. So let's say that if you notice on here, all of the kids that you have in the lineup, all the players have a little helmet by them. The ones that are not in the lineup have a little bench by them. So this coach wants to bat all of them. So this is how it would work. And this is what you would do with every player you created, but now we're just going to be adding these players to this is the entire roster. What you're seeing there is all the kids that are available for that day. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add A. Botts to the lineup as an extra hitter, which is a very common position in travel baseball. So you click A. Botts, and of course you're going to activate him, and this is what you would do with every player if there was none in there. You would create the player and activate them all and choose a position. In this case, we're going to activate him, and then it's already set at extra hitter right there, and you're ready to go. So you would click back, and you're back to the lineup. Now you see a little helmet by A. Botts. We're going to do the same thing with B. Martin right there. B. Martin, we're going to activate him and then hit extra hitter. And he's there. So back. And as you see there, now all that's left is J. Jones, which we did a while ago. We're going to activate him. We're going to click activate. And there's extra hitter. And now you're ready to go. Now every single one of those, we're going to go to the lineup now. We're at roster now. We're going to go click on the lineup. Lineup highlights, and there's you've created the lineup from the roster. Left field, shortstop, and they will show up on this side over here once it's their side of the inning. So if you look all the way down here, you have created their lineup in a perfect order. Now, if you need it, let's say the coach comes to you at the very end and says, look here, wait a minute, I want Houghton batting in place of Thompson. I want Houghton. So we're going to move Houghton. Pardon me. We're going to move Houghton, and we're going to hold him down. You hold your finger down and move. And then on the right-hand side, you'll actually hold down. You can't see it, my finger, but that's where you would hold it down. Is right there. You would hold down Houghton and just slide him all the way up to where Thompson is, and now Thompson moves to 5th place. And you could do that with the entire order if you want, and move them into the right position. So Game Changer is just an incredible piece of software. Now, also a couple of other things. If you notice at the top, we're dealing with the Wildcats. Wildcats, there's their little logo right, there's their logo right there is their shirt. Now, you can also move right over here to the Bulldogs. I'm going to press Bulldogs, and there's their lineup. See, of course, you would have to do the same thing with them. Now, once you have the roster set perfectly, the lineups are ready to go, you're ready to start the baseball game. You move over here to menu. Now, you won't see this particular, it will say start game on that, start scoring the game. It does not have that on your practice menu. Now, one thing also I want to show you is that oftentimes you will have you'll key their lineups in, and you really won't know who home or visitor is until they take the field. That happens all the time. So let's say that you have them switched. So in this case here, obviously we have the Bulldogs set as home team, but it's not correct. So you would go up here to menu, and there's something that says swap home and away right down there. Click swap home and away, and then we'll ask you, is that what you want to do, and swap sides, and there you go, and you're ready to go. You're now ready for the first pitch of the baseball game, and which will be activated by clicking pitch, and then I'm going to let Game Changer handle the rest of your training concerning that. But that is exactly the way that you would handle all your rosters and how to deal with that. Now, also in the menu, you would want to click menu to end the baseball game, and it's very important to end the game. Otherwise, the stats will not be recorded as well. But everything you're doing on the Game Changer is showing up on our Dynamic Baseball website on every pitch. So good scoring, and that's how video number 2 is going to conclude.